Hey guys. Okay, today I'm going to come and talk to you about handling objections. First thing I want to tell you is that everyone hears objections, okay? It is not only you. So when those little voices come in your head that say, everybody's saying no, maybe I'm doing something wrong, maybe I shouldn't be doing this at all, maybe it was a mistake to be a coach, I want you to just shut those up because everybody hears no, everybody hears objections, okay? There's two main ways really to combat objections. And this isn't really what to say back, I'll talk about that in a minute, but just internally, just the best strategy to combat those objections and those no's that you're getting. Number one is you need a why. You need to know why you are doing this. Your why can change, okay? But it needs to be big enough. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be big for you and big enough that it is going to push you past your fears. I'm going to give you two examples, all right? First one, personal. When I became a coach, I had never been a challenger before, okay? So I desperately wanted to be a challenger. I wanted a challenge group. I wanted to do the workouts. I knew I needed accountability. I did not feel comfortable in my own skin, and I was tired of it, okay? So my why at first for becoming a coach was that I wanted to feel good. I wanted to feel good. Now, I could not afford Shakeology. I couldn't. We were on a super tight budget, like a one income budget, and it was not in our budget. And so when I signed up to be a coach, I told Kristen right away, I said, I have to cover my Shakeology. I have to. She said, okay, you need to find 3 people to join our next challenge group. Okay, so my why was that I desperately wanted to be in these groups. I wanted to do Shakeology. I wanted to be consistent, but I had to cover that cost. So I had to find those 3 people. That why, okay, kept me going. I would hear no's and I would get objections, and of course it affects you, but it was quick, and then I could move on because I still had a goal. I still had to say, I still got to get 3 people. This person said no, find a new person, right? So that kept me going. That kept me inviting. That kept me posting on social media when I had never posted on social media before. It pushed me to do those things because I had a why, okay? Now, obviously, my why has changed and it's different now, but originally, that was it. I wanted to be here, and in order to be here, I needed to cover Shakeology. So I had to find 3 people, no matter what, okay? The next one I want to tell you about is Summer. And if you've been on maybe a team call with her, Summer is our upline. She's over Team Courage. If you think of your upline in a maternal way, since most of us are women, I'm Kristen's coach, so it's like she's my mom. And then Summer would be my great grandma. Yes, great grandma. So Summer is Kristen's grandma maternally, okay? So when Summer first started, she actually sat on this business for about a year and kind of did nothing with it. And then one day she found herself alone. Her husband had been deployed. He was in the military at the time. She was pregnant with their 3rd baby, and she knew she was going to have that 3rd baby while he was gone. And she kind of had this aha moment that said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want Chad to have to be deployed. I don't want to be waking up by myself. I don't want us to feel stuck. And so she kind of got this idea, what if I could replace Chad's income with this, and he could retire from the military so that he would kind of feel that pressure be off of him, and he could choose to do what he wants to do. So her why, her deep-seated why became, I'm retiring my husband from the military. I need to replace his income, okay? So when she didn't feel like inviting anymore, right? Or when she just didn't feel like getting up early in the morning to do her power hour or to do her workout, that why takes over, because those 2 things can't live in the same room, right? If I have a why, I have to cover the cost of my Shakeology because I cannot be in these groups without them, and I desperately need to be in these groups. Then when I'm hearing no and I'm like, oh, I don't want to invite anymore, it's like they can't live together, right? My why and my excuses, they can't live together, okay? That's what you need. You need a why. And it doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be big enough for you right now that's going to push you past some fears. Okay, because we all have that fear of rejection. Okay. Second thing is you need personal development. All right. You need to find a book, a podcast, a mentor, something, someone that you can draw from to grow up. That is going to help you just be strong emotionally, mentally, in this business, as a wife, as a mom, as a daughter, whatever. You need to have some personal development. If you need some suggestions for that, just post it in the comments. I will put a link in. But honestly, you guys, you can find it anywhere. YouTube is a great resource for this business. I used to watch YouTube videos all the time. If I wanted to know how to do something, I went to YouTube, okay? Coaches post stuff on there all the time, all right? Okay, now, handling objections. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. You need to keep a couple things in mind in this business, okay? One is it's not a microwave. You can't pop coaching in and press a minute and come out a top coach. It just doesn't happen. Of course, there are people that are going to rise faster in this business than others, okay? But those people usually are working that much harder, for real, okay? It's not like anybody's just sitting back and being like, la, 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 and I'm just 15 star, right? And I have 84 Success Club points or whatever, okay? They're working hard, all right? So understand that that is proportionate. You're going to have to invite a lot of people, and you're going to get a lot of objections. But the only way that you can practice handling those objections is to invite more and to handle more, okay? So sometimes what I see is that people get really down, coaches get down, like I'm inviting all these people and everybody's saying no. And so what do? They stop inviting. And when you stop inviting, you really are taking a piece of that recipe out, okay? And all of a sudden, you're not making the same thing anymore, okay? Your formula of success now looks different. And so then people start to feel like, oh, maybe this isn't what I was supposed to do and this isn't working. But it's not working because you're not doing this piece, okay? So you have to keep going despite feeling those feelings. Now, when I get an objection, the best way to handle that is to listen to the person, to figure out what their need is, and then to share my story or to share a story of someone that they could relate to. There is a saying that says, facts tell, stories sell. And that, I guess, can kind of sound icky. I don't mean it in an icky way. But the point is that people relate to people and they relate to stories. So you can list out all the ingredients of Shakeology you want, but really what's probably going to touch that person right on the other end of that message is a story about my mom who has fibromyalgia, and when she started on Shakeology, she started on that and 21 Day Fix, and she changed her diet and she was able to manage her pain and lose weight and actually be able to do these exercises that she thought there was just no way she was going to be able to do, okay? A story about my coach, now coach, and my friend Diane, who was really hesitant to do 21 Day Fix. She was really hesitant to do Shakeology. She was in a lot of clean eating groups, but then she decided to commit, and she's lost 40 pounds of baby weight, and she feels fantastic, okay? Sharing stories touches people's hearts. So when somebody gives me a money objection, for example, I share with them my story. I say, you know what? I totally understand. And it's really important to edify them, you guys, and it's really important to listen to them. The number one way to come off like a salesperson is not to listen. So you listen to them, and I say, you know what? I totally get it. When I started this, I was on a budget, a really strict budget too. I could not afford it. And so when I looked at it and I broke down the numbers, I realized it was about $4 a day. And that was on food that I was going to, spend money on anyways. And so the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know what? I'm not going to be going to Starbucks anymore because I'm going to be eating better. And I'm not going to be eating out at Chick-fil-A with the kids anymore because I'm going to be eating better. And so it actually worked out. It actually wasn't a big expense, And then I'll talk about the money back guarantee. And then at the end, I always say, you know what? This is a personal decision. So I want you to think about it and get back to me. And I support you, no matter what, I am here for you, okay? Always throw it back to them, you guys. Always make them feel like this is your decision, okay? I want to give you all this information so that you can decide if this is right for you, okay? That's empowering to people, and it doesn't feel pushy, okay? So when you're going to handle whatever objection it is, I want you to think about how you worked through your objection, because we all have it, right? Did you have a time objection? How do you now squeeze in working out or meal planning? Did you have a money objection? How did you figure out how to cover those costs and work that out? Did you prefer going to the gym? Okay, well, how did that work out for you? Did you find out that it's hard lugging 3 kids to the gym and then getting called out of a class 15 minutes in because the baby pooped and, why am I even here? This is a big headache in the first place. Get what I'm saying? Okay, so you want to share those stories. Now, after I share a story and I listen to them and I try to work through it with them based on their need, not based on me needing Success Club points, but based on their need. If they come back and they still are like, you know what, I just don't think it's for me, then we let it go. And I go back to just having a relationship with them, not based on a group, okay? A lot of times later on in the month, I will invite them to a free clean eating group. A lot of people decide to join that. They kind of get a feel for the groups and then maybe decide from there to do a 30-day. But the reason you don't want to push it and you don't need to push it is, one, none of us want to be salesy, right? That's a common fear. I don't want to be that salesy, pushy person. Guess what? You don't have to, okay? And then secondly, the longer you guys are in this business, the more that you're going to realize that no really means not right now. People come around, you guys. They really do. I have a person that bought a challenge pack from me yesterday who was really she was one of the first people I ever asked to join a challenge group about a year ago. And didn't want to do it for whatever reason. We've kept up the relationship, and she reached out to me and said, hey, I think I'm ready. Like, I want to do this. And great, we signed her up. And that happens a lot, you guys. And so that's also why we say that you need to be consistent on social media and really showing your life and your journey and what workouts you're doing, and posting transformations of people, because people need to build trust with you and they need to see that this works. When you're first starting out, I know this video is like crazy long right now, sorry. But when you're first starting out, you guys, people don't know what you're doing. I mean, I remember really having to explain what I was doing. And a lot of times people's natural tendency when they don't really understand anything is just to kind of be like, no, I don't think so. Okay. But the more that you do it and the more that you are consistent and you are staying here, commit to be here, stay around. Don't be like all gung ho for a month or 2 months and then all of a sudden be like, back in the background, because then you have to start with that trust building again. So be consistent. People are watching you. I get people all the time that reach out to me that have never liked or commented on anything. And they're like, hey, I'm just, what are these groups you're running? What are they about? I'm like, I had no clue. You were not on my radar whatsoever. And that happens, you guys, all the time. Okay. So be consistent. You being consistent is going to build momentum. This is a momentum business. This is you doing the little things each day, building up to a big thing, but you can't build up to the big thing if you don't do the little. Okay. I know that was way more than just handling objections, but I hope that was helpful to you. So get a why, get your head in some personal development, listen to people, share your story or share stories of people that you know or challengers that you've worked with, okay? And then understand that you don't need somebody to sign up today, because if you're going to be here, there's a good chance that they're going to come around, okay? All right, guys, proud of you. You guys are doing so fantastic. And I will talk to you soon, okay? Bye.